I got my notes are in the order I watched them in, so this is all fucked up.
Well, we haven't talked about your number 6 yet.
Yeah, my number 6 was Small Soldiers.
Okay.
Criminy. I think I'm gonna hurl.
I thought it was just fun.
Small Soldiers is a charming movie.
I'd never seen this before. This is my first viewing of Small
Soldiers. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I saw this in the theater because I was excited that there was finally a new Joe Dante movie. By this point, I was a movie nerd. I loved Joe Dante, and he hadn't done especially like a studio movie. I think the movie before this was Matinee, which was like 93.
93.
And this was 98?
98.
98.
So we're into the CGI era, but despite the fact that we're into the CGI era, Stan Winston does some amazing fucking like animatronic work in this movie.
Yeah. Well, it helps that the CG is like these toys. Because that was, especially at that time, CG, the big problem was getting like realistic textures. So that's just like shiny plastic. You can get away with a lot. So yeah, the like Jurassic Park, the combination of the CG with the actual like animatronic characters is like very well done.
The designs for like, something that's supposed to be a kid's action figure line, they nailed it.
Oh yeah.
They nailed it. This absolutely looks like a 90s toy line.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they did do a toy line.
I would be shocked if they didn't.
But the movie wasn't like a huge hit, so I don't think it lasted very long.
Yeah.
It kind of fizzled out. But it is, I mean, the movie's basically Gremlins light. It's the little creatures running amok in the suburbs. It's very Gremlin. I mean, it makes perfect sense why they would hire Joe Dante to do this. This was Spielberg again. This was the start of DreamWorks, the early days of their company. And so, yeah, him kind of throwing a bone to Joe Dante to do another big studio movie because you got a movie with little creatures running amok, you get Joe Dante.
You say Gremlins light, I say Gremlins kid friendly.
That's true.
Because the secret plan with this was to sell the toys.
That's true.
And this had to be kid friendly. And I think what would have made this movie a lot better is if there was more of an element of danger.
Yeah.
If they had if the toys had managed to kill somebody.
That is the difference between this and Gremlins.
Yes.
Gremlins is goofy and weird, but there is real danger.
And yet I loved Gremlins as a child.
Jesus, Frank, that's Dave Myers. He does Santa every year.
Yeah, it was kind of like just the culture was different. I know before this movie came out, the original poster had, what's the main soldier's name?
It's very appropriate. Chip Hazard.
Chip Hazard.
Because the chips in them go nuts.
The original poster was Chip Hazard with a gun, like turned sideways. And everybody protested. Everybody was upset. So they removed the gun. So he's just pointing. So
that sucks.
That's different than the 80s Gremlins era, where you're exploding monsters in microwaves and shooting old ladies through the window.
It was nice to see David Cross. He did not end up becoming a Joe Dante mainstay.
No.
But it was nice to see David Cross. He's fun in this.
Dick Miller. We got to talk about Dick Miller.
Dick Miller. What is a
Joe the delivery driver?
Yes, very Dick Miller part.
You saying that never in your entire career has anything just fallen off the back of the truck?
I don't like your tone. It's too loud.
Dick Miller is very interesting because normally the Hollywood, the veteran character actor, it's like you see them in the movie and you're like, I know I've seen them in other things. They're doing a very good job, but I can't think of what any of the other things they were in are at this moment.
Yeah.
Not Dick Miller.
No.
You see him, he's a great bit player, but there's Dick Miller. I love Dick Miller. Mm-hmm. He's like a cross between a bit player and an actual movie star.
I think that might be different for us than like average moviegoers.
Because we're nerdy.
Yeah. I mean, they made a few years before Dick Miller passed away, there was a documentary made about him, and it's called That Guy, Dick Miller.
I gotta watch that.
It's that guy. But yeah, it is weird to watch this because I think of like Joe Dante, I think of like 80s movies, and this is such a late 90s movie.
Yeah.
This
is the last gasp of the 90s movies.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Psychological warfare.
Yeah, but like Jay Moore, like remember when they were trying to make him a thing?
Yeah.
I think he had a sitcom for a while.
He's good. I mean,
he's fine in this.
He's not amazing in anything he's been in, but he's good.
Yeah, him and David Cross work well together in this as kind of the low-level employees, the the company they work for gets bought out by this larger company. And Dennis Leary, speaking of very 90s, he has his little 90s.
For some reason, they thought Dennis Leary had to be on everything for like a month.
And he always had to do his rants.
I'm sick of commercials that show us 4x4 trucks popping up to the top of Mount Rushmore and parking on top of Abraham Lincoln's head. I'm sick of shampoo commercials that try to convince women they can look like Claudia Schiffer after one cycle of rinse and repeat.
He isn't my favorite scene in the film. Just when he starts writing the checks.
Yes, I wanted to mention that. That ending, after all the destruction the toys have done, the wrap up to the movie, you would think it would be a thing. And this is kind of cynical in a way that's
it's
funny.
very cynical, but it's hysterical.
Because you would think you would have like
He's
the
the villain.
wholesome...
He's clearly the villain.
Yeah.
He's caused all this mayhem indirectly. And he just buys everybody off.
And you have like, it's funny, like Dick Miller's just like, whoa, and he walks away. Phil Hartman, we got to talk about Phil Hartman, writes him a check and he's happy. And you would think it would be a situation where the main kid and his parents are like, we don't want your money.
Yeah. Nope.
That doesn't happen.
They take the check.
Some things are more important than money. No, they just take the check.
It had that many zeros, Jay.
Yes, yes. But Phil Hartman is in the movie, is the neighbor, and his reaction to the check, where he's like angry, yelling, gets the check. Oh, this'll do.
And my garage, and my audio-visual component system, and this is good, thanks.
Bye.
Yeah.
That like classic Phil Hartman delivery.
Phil Hartman is underutilized in this movie.
Yeah, he was underutilized in every movie he was in, pretty much.
That's true. That's true.
But he's the neighbor. Last movie of Phil Hartman.
Oh, was it?
He died before it came out.
Oh.
Between when it was shot and when it came out.
I can't believe he's been gone that long.
Yeah.
Shit.
So last Phil Hartman role, but at least it's a good one, is the annoying neighbor that wants to cut down his tree so his satellite could get better reception.
I think World War II was my favorite war.
Another reoccurring character, his wife, is an actress named Wendy Shaw, who's also Martin Short's kind of love interest in Innerspace.
Okay.
Works with him at the grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
These days, I think she's mainly known, she does the voice of the wife on American Dad.
Oh.
That's like her big thing. The casting of, I mentioned earlier the casting. Bruce Dern, who's also in the non-exposition character in The Hole for whatever reason. And he shows up in The Burbs. He's one of the voices of the soldiers. Aside from Chip Hazard, who's the head soldier, and the head of the Gorgonites, which is Frank Langella. But all the other characters, the soldiers are all voiced by actors from The Dirty Dozen, which is why Bruce Dern's there.
Oh, that is so appropriate.
And all the Gorgonites are voiced by the members of Spinal Tap. So like Harry Shearer, Christopher Guest. And I think that's an incredibly charming casting decision.
That is a nice touch. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming Chip Hazard was, I didn't even look at the credits. I'm assuming that was Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, God, yeah. Tommy Lee Jones.
1,000%.
Nick Nitro's battery has run out, but his memory will keep going and going and going.
Great performance. Just a voice acting performance, but yeah, he really sells that character.
Yep.
And the seriousness, I think that helps the movie too. They never get too silly.
Mm-hmm.
Like they really take what they're doing so seriously. I love the scene when he's given the speech to his men, and it's like the scene from Patton with George C. Scott in front of the giant American flag.
Yeah.
But it's Chip Hazard in front of a puzzle of the American flag. Like that's a little like kind of clever little toy touches like that.
Fully posable.
No, I have this as high on this list as this because it is a fun movie. Mm. It's not the best movie, but it's a fun movie.
It's fun. It came out, I don't think it did very well. I don't think it was like a flop.
Because the truth is kids like violence. Mm-hmm. And this movie needed a death or two. It just did.
Yeah.
At some point, the main kid in this gets like stabbed. You see a little bit of blood. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh yeah, we need more of that. We need to think these little soldiers are actual threats.
The closest it gets is Kirsten Dunst. Kirsten Dunst is in the movie.
Yeah.
A couple years before Spider-Man. Her boyfriend, her kind of douchey boyfriend, gets like lit on fire and falls down the stairs.
Yeah.
So there's that moment.
Yeah.
That's something.
It's his pant leg, though. That's like a comedy wound.
I suppose. Yeah.
That's like a Looney Tunes injury.
Yes. But that whole scene in Kirsten Dunst, they couldn't get the rights to Barbie, clearly, so they call them Gwendy dolls.
I'm sure
But
I'm sure Mattel didn't want homicidal Barbies running around.
yeah, but that's the idea, is that the small soldiers like animate all of her dolls, and they're all like melted and mutated and different parts stuck onto different ones, and so there's this army of disturbing Barbie dolls that are attacking Kirsten Dunst. So that's the best scene in the movie.
This is fun! You're killing me!
All right, that was number 6 for me. What was your number 6? Oh, I think you still did it, but
My number 6 was The Explorers.
The Explorers. Okay, so we're up to number 5, and this one, never seen it before. I didn't even know much about it. I had no idea it was a Joe Dante movie. Matinee was a very pleasant surprise for me.
That's my number 5. We matched up finally.
What in creation do you call that thing?
Bill.
And I'd never seen this before. I didn't know much about it. First thing I wrote, and I feel like an idiot because when I wrote that, I didn't realize that Jerry Goldsmith did the score. Said something's reminding me of Gremlins. Oh, Jerry Goldsmith did the score.
You could have made that note for pretty much every Joe Dante movie.
I looked it up after this, and like, oh, okay, Jerry Goldsmith is all over the place here.
Mm-hmm. I love this movie. This is another one I saw when it came out, and I don't think at the time I was aware of specifically who John Goodman his character was kind of inspired by.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I found out later, which is William Castle, who was sort of like the schlock version of Alfred Hitchcock.
I didn't know his name, but I was kind of aware of like him and the theater gimmicks.
All of his gimmicks, buzzers under the seats,
Yeah.
and rubber skeletons flying across the screen, across the theater. Yeah, king of the gimmicks, William Castle. And so John Goodman is basically playing him. Great John Goodman performance. I love a good huckster.
One of my notes is this movie needed more John Goodman. I wish it was more about his character than the kids.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The kid story is fine. It's charming. It's got that kind of cute, nostalgic thing.
Now, what I wrote down for the kids was, here's my note on the kids.
Mm-hmm.
The Wonder Years, Nuclear War Edition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's the setting for the movie. It's during the Cuban Missile Crisis. It takes place in Key West, Florida, like 90 miles from Cuba.
I think you also have this nice little juxtaposition in there. You have this sleazy horror movie coming into town, the scandalous, you kids can't watch this horror movie, it's too scary for your kids. Meanwhile, in the real world, the most horrible thing is going on in the background.
Yeah, and everybody's constantly glued to the TV watching it.
So you have this kid-friendly horror going on while this very real horror is going on in the background.
Safe horror. So you're in an environment, you're in a movie theater watching a horror movie where you can get scared, but it's safe.
That's what it's about. I think John Goodman gives the speech.
John
what do you
Goodman
get out of what's the purpose of a horror movie? What do you get out of a horror movie?
John Goodman, his character in this, Lawrence Wolsey is his name. Always has the giant cigar. And he gives multiple speeches in the movie. He always has a speech on hand to win people over, and that's the big one. And that's kind of the
because of course Joe Dante would have this 50s schlock guy be the wise hero.
The country is on red alert. People are already scared.
Exactly. And what a perfect time to open a new horror movie.
But sometimes it's done kind of tongue in cheek, or he's just kind of like saying what he thinks people want to hear because he wants something from them. But yeah, that contrast between real world horror and movie horror. Mm-hmm. Yeah, John Goodman showing up into town to take advantage of everybody's fear of the real horror to sell his monster movie Mance.
And speaking of sleazy and taking advantage of, we have Dick Miller's part in this.
Yes.
Where Dick Miller is a fake Christian crusader who's upset about the movie, but he's actually an actor just trying to get people interested in the movie.
Yes, yeah. Him and his partner in that is John Sayles, who wrote Piranha and the Howling. So another Joe Dante regular shows up. But he's got a pretty big role in this movie. He shows up throughout. One of his better roles. But the main kid is like the only monster kid in town. He has all these monster magazines, and he's the one that figures it out that Dick Miller is an actor that was in the brain leeches or something.
Some cheesy horror movie, yeah.
He's like, you were a guy in cafeteria in the brain leeches. Yeah, this is probably the most Joe Dante movie, aside from Gremlins 2, in terms of like everything he loves in a portrayed in a way that is very like affectionate and charming. Basically, the entire second half of the movie is in the movie theater, and it's just it really.
That's when it gets good.
That's when it gets really good. The first half is kind of setting up all of our teen characters.
If I have a complaint, it's a bit slow to set up before we get to the good stuff.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to keep it like grounded. They're showing that the Cuban Missile Crisis, making sure that you understand that this is a real threat.
If you think it's gonna help you to put your hands behind your neck when the bomb falls, you're wrong. Young lady, I call her communist.
Heads down, people.
I like that moment when he's in the bedroom and his little brother's falling asleep. And he just turns on the radio and it's in the jungle tonight, whatever that song is, and there's like thunder outside. Just like this quiet little moment that kind of establishes like this looming real world threat going on.
Yeah.
And wanting to escape that into the movies. And very, as far as the recreations of movies from that era.
I would love to see a standalone, it'd be short. It doesn't have to be a full-length movie, but I would love to see a standalone Mant.
Well, the Blu-ray, you can watch Mant in its entirety.
Oh, okay.
If I looked like this when we first met,
I would have been afraid, Bill. I would have been very afraid.
It's like, I don't know.
Is it like a full movie, or is it just everything they shot for it?
It's everything they shot for it, which is, I think, a little bit more than what you actually see in the movie. But it's like 25, 30 minutes, something like that. But yeah, everything with Mant. All the dialogue is hilarious. The scientist guy that's constantly like dumbing down what he's talking about for the audience. It's so great.
You'll continue to metamorphose or change.
And just the way it's shot, it feels authentic. And even early on in the movie, the mom's like telling the kids, like, just go see a movie. And so they just go see whatever's playing. And it's like this like shitty, like early 60s kind of Disney type movie. Those like Disney live action movies. It's about a shopping cart.
Oh, the shopping cart that comes to life?
The shook up
another
shopping
brilliant
cart.
thing, yeah.
And the kids are watching, they're like bored. By the way, the woman in that scene, I don't know if you recognized her.
Who was she?
Very early role for Naomi Watts.
Uncle Cedric.
So, but yeah, the way that's shot, like that ultra wide
That's
screen.
like a perfect, like, Herbie, the Love
Yeah,
Bug
it
movie.
looks just, it's so accurate.
The colors are just spot on, yeah.
So between that and the Mant stuff, like just so like affectionately done homage.
Yes.
And Kevin McCarthy shows up again.
But don't you understand? He's not a monster. He's a shoe salesman.
Would you let that fit you in a pump?
Yeah, the humor really comes out in the second half of the movie. The first half, yeah, it takes its time. But the more it builds, that kind of manic energy that it builds up to, and then all the little characters. You got Robert Picardo, who runs the theater, constantly has his radio going because he's just like terrified at every moment.
Yeah.
The hippie parents that are trying to be open-minded about this.
They tie back in, even though, they don't forget about the Cuban Missile threat because he's got the bomb shelter in the theater,
yeah.
which is, why do you have a bomb shelter in a theater? But whatever.
He built it because he's scared of this thing. Robert Picardo is terrified through the whole movie.
And then
he's constantly distracted.
Two kid leads get locked in the bomb shelter. And they think the world has ended because the sound speakers from the movie are going off. It all comes together, the themes of the movie.
Yes, it's a wonderful film.
Yes. My number 4, which I'm going to guess might be higher on your list. I think you're more fond of this movie than I am. And even though I have it at number 4, I have The Burbs.
Yeah, The Burbs is like a comfort movie because it's very funny, but it's never like hilarious. It's just like consistently pretty funny.
Look, these cookies are That's great. All right, everybody. Very nice.
And I just love the simple premise, the simple setup. And it's a concept that other movies don't really go into. The idea of like neighbors, and you can't pick your neighbors. And it's like your own little community in like a single block, and you're just stuck with these people. You can't really choose who moves in next to you. Now, the movie kind of dealing with that in sort of like a Hitchcock Rear Window way, but the comedic version of that.
And just bored, nosy neighbors.
Yes.
Can't mind their own business.
Walter's dog just took a dump on Rumsfield's lawn again.
Good, honey.
Yeah, the fact that it takes place on a cul-de-sac is great.
Yeah.
That's the.
It couldn't be a through street. No.
No.
They needed to be bottled up in this cul-de-sac.
And all the little like town legend stories, people like gossiping about each other.
He comes over here to smoke cigars. His wife won't let him. He doesn't know I know that. Hi, Ray. How you doing?
They tell the story about the ice cream parlor guy that killed his family, and it's like a town legend. And they tore the malt shop down that fall. Like all these little stories that bored neighbors tell each other because there's nothing else happening.
It's like an urban person criticizing suburban life.
Sure.
This movie.
Sure. No, Dick Miller.
Yeah,
Dick Miller plays Garbage Man.
Dick Miller and Robert Picardo, I think, is especially funny in this one. The two garbage men.
Mm-hmm. Where Robert Picardo is like the helpful one to them wanting to rummage through the trash.
He's allowed to go through the trash.
Once it's out the corner, it's public domain.
According to the law, it's private property until it hits this point, and then it's, no.
There you go. What are you doing? You asked me to help.
And the funny detail of, so the setup is, Tom Hanks and all of his neighbors. There's a new neighbor that moves in next door. They're creepy weirdos.
They're very creepy. They're kind of like the Addams family has moved into your neighborhood.
The Klopeks.
They're very, very mysterious.
And so that captures everybody's attention because they have nothing else going on.
Everyone else is nosy, and this one house they just want to keep to themselves.
Yeah. So the detail of like they dig through their trash because they assume that they're gonna find a body part in it. They're pouring the trash all over the street, and then that trash is just in the street for the rest of the movie.
I didn't remember that detail from when I saw this movie originally, and I'm like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, the Klopeks are driving back up to their house. That trash is still.
Movie.
Yeah, the trash is just still there. But speaking of the Klopeks, I'm sure some people will be very happy that we're finally talking about the Burbs so they can stop fucking commenting on the fact that I look like Hans Klopek.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I've been hearing this shit for 15 years. Yes, I'm aware that I look like character actor Courtney Gaines, but they never say that. They always say Hans Klopek specifically.
Hey, Pinocchio! Where are you going?
Details. At the beginning of the movie, we see some Gremlin cereal.
Gremlins, bite after bite. What a tasty way to satisfy a gremlin appetite.
Gremlins is a deliciously sweet, crunchy cereal that satisfies the hungry little gremlin that's in all of us.
There's another movie. Which one was it? There's a other movie where there's just a gremlin in the street in the background. It's not even paid.
Oh,
it's
the
not
car.
focused on that much. Not the Looney Tunes back in action car.
No, I know what you're talking about. That's in Innerspace.
It's in Innerspace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's just a gremlin. Yeah.
Come on. If it's all suddenly such a big deal, let's just
It's a joke!
They're daring each other to ring the doorbell.
A great ensemble movie. This is the case of, we were talking about the earlier movies where they feel like overstuffed with characters. Yeah. This one, there's the perfect amount of characters.
No, they because they're all working in the same problem.
Yeah.
You know, it's mostly Tom Hanks, Bruce Dern, and
Rick Dukeman is
Rick
that actor's
Dukeman.
name.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who shows up briefly as a security guard in Gremlins 2. He's one of the bad guys in the movie Little Monsters with Howie Mandel. Didn't have a huge career. He died kind of young too.
Okay.
He showed up. He's in the first Scary Movie.
I thought I heard screaming in here.
No, you didn't, Dad.
Well, it could have been that crack I smoked earlier, I guess.
So he was still alive in '99 when that came out. But didn't have a huge career. I don't know how he ended up in this movie.
He's good in this. He's the perfect level of obnoxious.
Yes.
Where you understand that the character is supposed to be obnoxious, but he's not obnoxious to you in the audience, which is perfect.
What we got to do is we got to go down to the religious supply store. We got to get ourselves a couple of gallons of holy water. My cousin Jerry's a priest. He can get us a deal.
And he plays off. Him and Tom Hanks are great together. Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia's in this movie.
Yeah.
It's Tom Hanks' wife.
She's the angel on his shoulder, as opposed to the other neighbor who is the devil on his shoulder.
Yes. And her performance, it's very understated, but it's very funny. All of her little details, like just the way she reacts to Art as the neighbor, the annoying neighbor. He comes over at the beginning and he's just like eating everything.
Well, he starts by almost shooting Tom Hanks.
Yes, yeah. He's trying to shoot a squirrel or something.
Yeah.
And then just eats all their food, and to the point where he's not even paying attention when Carrie Fisher walks by with the dog food. And it's almost like a background gag. He just eats it and realizes it's gross. But other exposition is happening in the scene around it. It's a very like character-wise and performance-wise, it's a very busy movie. It keeps everybody like doing something in the frame. It's very like well orchestrated, all that stuff. And then Corey Feldman, he's back from Gremlins. He's back.
He only shows up twice. I'm not going to call him a Joe Dante regular.
He is in the early days of Netflix starting to do their own streaming stuff. They made something called Splatter. I don't think I've ever seen it, but Joe Dante directed that. That was like their early days of like, we want to make original content.
So they did work together.
But
a
Joe
third
Dante
time.
directed that, and Corey Feldman is in that.
Okay, then he's a regular. He's a regular now.
3 times as a regular, yes. Even though nobody remembers this thing.
Is this the last decent thing Corey Feldman was involved with?
Oh, probably.
Mr. Officer, wait! I mean, there's these people, and they're in my parents' house, and they're eating all their food!
In the themes of nosy neighbors, everyone else is nosy about the new neighbors. He's the one that's just watching everybody.
Yeah, he's just entertained watching the other neighbors be nosy.
The neighborhood is his version of TV.
Yeah. He even says that at one point.
He invites friends over. You got to see, it's going to be the good one today.
He says, oh yeah, at one point it's raining. He says rain delay. He treats it like entertainment.
Yeah.
And how obsessed all these neighbors are with their mysterious new neighbors.
And really, he's just one of them. It's just coming at it from a different angle.
Yeah. But even scenes like early on, Tom Hanks goes out to walk the dog. It's later at night. The neighborhood's quiet. And even though Corey Feldman, he's younger, obviously. I don't think we never see his parents at all. They're never around.
No.
But he's just hanging out on the porch with Art. And they're like people that would not hang out in any other sort of social environment, but they're both stuck in this little cul-de-sac. So they're just hanging out on Art's porch. It's just like the weird little like social element to it.
Yeah.
is interesting.
Hey, wait, you guys can't go now. It's the best part. I called the pizza dude. All right.
But then it's almost one of those movies though that I think I saw this in the theater.
Yeah,
and I was disappointed by the ending. Because it's one of those, and I'm not anymore, like I don't really, because it's not really about the ending. It's just kind of hanging out in this neighborhood. But it's one of those things
thematically,
it wants to have its cake and eat it too.
Yes, it wants to have its cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
All right, so they're different, so they keep to themselves. Can you blame them? They live next door to people who break into their house and burn it down while they're gone for the day.
Because the Tom Hanks has the big revelation at the end. They become so obsessed with these neighbors.
The movie's like a battle for his soul. It's like, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get, no. I kind of want that. I don't want to get.
He can't help himself.
And then he finally, he falls. He loses it. He's all in on being the nosy neighbor. That's his character arc.
Yeah.
Kind of.
He breaks into the house. They're in the basement because they assume that there's bodies in the basement. They're digging up the basement.
Their paranoia has fully taken over.
Yeah.
And he ends up destroying his neighbor's house.
He hits a gas pipe and blows the whole house up.
And the proper ending to this movie is when he has that speech at the end. No, we're the monsters.
Yeah.
You know, that speech.
That's the message.
That
of
is
the
the
film.
message. That is the end of the movie. And then they just shit all over that.
Yeah. Then they say, oh, they are actually.
They really are killers. It's like, oh.
It's one of those things where it's like you almost can't satisfy any. People would be disappointed if they weren't. If the neighbors weren't creepy killers, because it feels like the movie's been building up to that, but that's not really what the movie's about.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, either ending would disappoint some people, if they're killers or they're not. So they tried to do both. Because, his speech at the end about it's like, it's us, we're the lunatics. Which leads to my favorite line in the entire movie where he says,
Stop it, I've been blown up. Take me to the hospital.
so funny. Tom Hanks' delivery of all that. His body language too. When he's walking out of the house after being blown up, his eyes like swollen shut. And just like the way he's sort of walking is so funny.
I miss Tom Hanks, the comedian.
I know. I mean, he's gone on to do wonderful things, but
Mr. Dramatic actor. He's good. He's bad.
Yeah.
It's worked out well for him, but I just miss comedic Tom Hanks.
This era of goofy Tom Hanks, yeah. His irritation at Art, when he's like trying to take a nap in the backyard and Art's bothering him, he gets frustrated and he just crushes an empty beer can. Like all the little details of that stuff. The wonderful moments when they discover the bone and the gratuitous zooming in and out as they're screaming shot.
Well, the fact that they discover it, it's like 5 minutes before they notice what it is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just,
Art's
the
like
dog gave
throwing
me
it to the
something, and
dog.
they're just talking. I wrote down, and I didn't give myself enough context because I don't remember what I'm referring to. I wrote the good, the bad, the ugly.
Oh yeah, they cut to close-up of eyes, and then they
Yeah.
cut to a close-up of the dog's eyes. And that's another, kind of Joe Dante thing, is like he's such a movie nerd.
Yeah.
That he can throw in those kind of like visual cliches in a way that's funny.
Oh, it was a Howling reference.
Oh.
In the little book of Satanism, one of the pictures was a drawing from one of the books in Dick Miller's bookstore.
Oh, I completely missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that angle too. The movie doesn't go too much into it, but obviously this
Satanic
era.
Panic.
Satanic Panic.
I want to kill everyone. Satan is good. Satan is our pal.
I've always been fascinated by Satanic Panic because it wasn't real, but everybody was. It's like
everybody was convinced it was.
Everybody was convinced that there was someone in your neighborhood that was going to kidnap and murder your child. And I mean, obviously that did happen sometimes, but not because of Satan. Child abduction is definitely a real thing. I should clarify. But including that element of it where you have like the fantasy sequence where Tom Hanks is tied up to the giant barbecue grill and his neighbors are wearing like the satanic robes.
Ooh, I bet that hurts.
A wonderful film, perfectly constructed, tons of memorable lines.
Good performances.
Great performances. I love Bruce Dern. The physicality of him when they're going over to actually introduce themselves to the Klopeks and he has the brownies. The way he's carrying them, it's very like, it's not just holding the tray of brownies. He's holding it like in a very like elegant way until he trips into the porch.
There's all the goddamn brownies.
No, it's like 3 great comedic performances. Bruce Dern, Tom Hanks, and I can't remember his fucking name. Rick Dukeman.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes. I would even say the head Klopek. The actor's name is Brother Theodore or something. He has like a weird name.
Yeah, Uncle. Was it Uncle? It was
the actor. The actor's name is Brother Theodore.
No shit.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, did they just find that guy? Is he just like that?
I'm assuming he's in some kind of older movie. Right?
He's been in. I saw him in something else, and I can't remember what. I'm sure he probably has a list of credits, but he's so committed to that role. I love when they go to his house, and I think it's Bruce Dern is like, Klopek, is that a Slavic name? And he just goes, no. He is not interested in continuing the discussion.
It's the most awkward scene ever.
Yeah, that whole interaction with them in the house, and Tom Hanks starts sneezing, and he can't stop himself from sneezing, and just. So many funny bits. We could just end up like listing all the funny things in the movie. So we'll cut it short. If you've never seen it, go watch The Birds.
It's a good watch. It's a good watch.
Wonderful film.
Pretty girl. Friend of yours?
No, it came with the frame.
So that was your number 4,
That was my
right?
number 4.
Okay.
What was your number 4?
My number 4 might be your number 3, Innerspace.
It is.
All right.
Tell me a joke.
I was very tempted to rank Innerspace higher.
Me too.
I was halfway through the movie, about halfway, and I'm like, this is the best one. And then it slows down a little bit. A little bit.
Okay. I don't know if I would agree with that. I would agree
Just
that
a
it's
little bit.
I would say it's closer to being higher for one big reason, which is that it's such a unique movie to the point where it hasn't been remade. I don't know if I didn't look into the box office. I don't know if it was like a flop or anything.
I don't know if it was a flop. I know I felt like a big movie when I was a kid.
Yeah,
This
well,
one
it is a
I
big
loved.
movie. Spielberg produced it.
Yeah.
Great special effects. It's a big production.
This is one of the most 80 movies in the sense that a lot of the 80s movies were like modern takes on an old thing. And
Okay.
this feels like the modern take on, look it up. I think it's The Incredible Journey, where
Okay.
they shrink a little spaceship people and they go into somebody's body, and I think they're trying to cure like some rich guy in that.
Okay.
So the premise is it's the same in the sense that shrinking down and going into a human body.
Yeah.
But everything else is different in this.
So there's that, and then on top of that, that's your setup, that's your premise of the movie, and they said that's not enough. We're going to introduce all these other weird fucking elements to make the movie even more unique.
It's a bit like Superman 3. Hear me out.
Okay.
Superman 3 was like, they said, well, what if we took a Superman movie and crossed it with a Richard Pryor comedy movie? And this is like somebody said, well, let's take this science fiction body shrinking premise and we'll mix that with just a Martin Short comedy.
Yeah, it's like a buddy comedy, which is interesting because I think it's Martin Short and Dennis Quaid is the one who gets shrunk down and put in his body. I think they have great chemistry in this movie, even though
they're never on screen until the very, very end.
The very end, yeah. They were shot completely separately, probably months apart.
Which makes me wonder, like, if they had like audio recordings of Dennis Quaid on the set, or
yeah, or maybe he was there, just like
Maybe.
acting off camera. I don't know, because they work great together.
Yes.
Jack, bring your knee up right now. Kick him on count.
So it's like a buddy comedy. It's an interesting, creative sci-fi premise. And it's like a weird kind of spy espionage thing with other people trying to steal the concept. It's all these different, and it's an action movie.
It doesn't waste much time getting into it either.
No, it's a very efficient movie.
Yes.
You get everything you need about like Dennis Quaid's character right at the beginning. You understand him. Meg Ryan is also in the film. We see her right away.
Is this her first big thing?
I think so. Not only that, I think you said it was like a Martin Short comedy, but I don't think Martin Short was really known at the time either.
I mean, SCTV was a thing.
As far as movies go,
Yeah.
there is a fun scene with two of his SCTV castmates when he's waiting in the doctor's
Andrea
office.
Martin or Andrea?
Andrea Martin and Joe Flaherty.
Joe Flaherty, yeah.
Look, pal, we have to talk.
No, we don't.
Don't what?
Don't have to talk.
Yes, we do.
We do?
Do what?
Have to talk.
Not unless you want to.
Yeah, Martin Short sometimes can be a little much for me. He can be a little overbearing with his humor, but I think he's great in this.
Somebody help me! I'm possessed!
That perfect level of neurotic, that early scene. That doctor, by the way, he goes to see his doctor.
It's the guy from Mance. And he was
That guy's in Mance, yeah.
Something else too. He was in one of the other Joe Dante movies. I forgot which one.
Okay, so he's a regular.
Yeah.
Wonderful cast. Kevin McCarthy shows up again.
First on-screen appearance of Jack Quaid.
My dad.
Oh, you made the joke before I could.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I guess it was inevitable that someone makes that joke.
Are we the first though? Has anybody else made that joke?
I don't know. When was the last time anyone talked about Innerspace?
That's a big question I have with this movie. 'Cause
Yeah.
in my mind, when I was young, this was one of the big '80s movies, and it feels like it's become a bit more obscure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of perfect. It's a great movie.
Yes.
So I'm not sure why it's not talked about more. And I mean, in addition to everything else, just like a clever script, good pacing, some good action scenes in a movie that isn't like a full-on action movie. The car chase.
Like the stuff in the mall when the doctor's running from what's his face? What do they call him? Igor's name?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another weird detail is, he has his detachable hands that he can put other appliances on. Like so many weird
It's
touches.
like a Bond villain.
Yeah. That's kind of spy angle to it.
But it feels dangerous.
Yeah.
It's both a fun movie, yet the villain in that case just feels dangerous.
So yeah, all these things, and then on top of that, it's a great special effects movie. All those inside the body stuff is really like interesting and visual because he's going to different parts of the body, so we're not just like seeing the same thing all the time.
It's funny. It's intriguing, great special effects, great science fiction premise, great music. It's the perfect '80s movie.
I mean, just like the second half of this movie when Kevin McCarthy gets shrunk, he's like half size. Like,
see, that's both great and it's like also like it's when the action adventure part kind of falls off and it becomes almost complete comedy.
Okay.
Stop this car!
To me, it's like the movie has such a good ramp up of absurdity. Because when it starts, it feels like, it could be like, I don't know, a Back to the Future type action comedy movie, but it's still kind of played straight. And then, it introduces more and more weird elements, and it just gets more strange. Until, you get to that fight in the car with the two, Kevin McCarthy and his assistant lady in the back seat.
They're 50% of their normal size.
They've been shrunken by 50%.
These tiny little hands, puppet hands on Martin Short's face.
That's the other thing too. It's just like really clever filmmaking. They're doing like every trick in the book. Yeah, little puppet hands. They're doing forced perspective, where it's all done in camera, where you can tell Kevin McCarthy and her are just like farther back than how it looks in the frame.
Mm-hmm. You've also got a nice mirrored character arc.
Yeah.
You've got Dennis Quaid, who starts off the film too macho for his own good, and then you have Martin Short, who's too timid for his own good. He needs to be more macho, and Dennis Quaid needs to chill out. They're like mirrored character arcs, which I like.
Yeah. It's like a perfect script.
Yes.
This movie.
You have the action man who can't take direct action. He has to kind of like puppeteer Martin Short through this adventure.
We should mention cameo. Bugs Bunny shows up multiple times. It's funny. He shows up.
Doll.
There's in Dennis Quaid's apartment. I think there's like multiple Bugs Bunny toys.
Yeah.
It's funny though, at the science lab early on, there's the Bugs Bunny doll, and then everything goes amok in the science lab. When you see that doll towards the end of the movie, he's all bandaged up in the background. I thought that was a funny detail.
You know what an underrated joke in this is?
What's that?
And they set it up early and it pays off at the end. The robot arm. The robot arm that has to insert the chip, and it's...
Yeah, it's kind of slow.
It's got these slow, complicated movements. And then we get to the end of the movie where there's this time crunch. We've got he's running out of air and they're waiting for the robot arm, and he just picks it up and puts it in on his own.
Yeah, it doesn't make any difference.
Arm, yeah. That is my favorite joke in the movie.
You know what we missed?
What?
Dick Miller.
Oh, who was he?
He's the cab driver. when Meg Ryan's leaving Dennis Quaid's apartment at the beginning of the film.
That's right. This is the first time I ever saw Robert Picardo in anything. And for years after this, I thought of Robert Picardo as the guy from Innerspace.
The cowboy.
The cowboy.
That's all they ever call him in the film.
Who might be the best character in this movie.
Women love me, but you know that.
The foreign man who's enamored with like the Westerns, so he acts like a cowboy.
Yeah.
But he's got some kind of like non-specific foreign accent.
Yeah, that might be Robert Picardo's best role in any of these movies, any Joe Dante film.
It is.
It's the most memorable, of course.
Yeah.
I do like him in Matinee a lot, but that's more of a straight comedic.
It's not as memorable as the cowboy.
Yeah.
I make love with my boots on.
Oh, I liked it when the villain just popped a kid's balloon on his way out of the mall. Just for no reason other than to be mean.
Is that in the mall?
That's in the mall.
That's another thing too, in the mall, for no reason, or for no explained reason, there's all these like animal mascots. Again, just a detail.
It's absurd that the doctor's last thing he saw before he died, just people dressed up like animals.
Animal costumes, crowding around him.
Crowding around him. That's how he went out. Mm-hmm. That was the story of his life.
So that was your number 3?
That was my number 3.
My number 3 was The Burbs.
The
so
Burbs.
We just had our number 3 and 4 inverted.
Okay. My number 2. And this is the one that I guess we could just talk about them together, right?
I'm assuming we have the same thing. Number 2 Gremlins, number 1 Gremlins 2.
Number 2 Gremlins, number 1 Gremlins 2. This shocked me because when I was a kid, the first Gremlins, one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
I watched the hell out of this when I was a kid, and then it was like a Christmas tradition for many years after that.
Oh, sure.
It's one of my favorite movies ever because I don't like horror movies, but for whatever reason, I love the horror comedy. And Gremlins is the best horror comedy.
It's the perfect balance of horror and comedy.
Yes.
It doesn't let one overpower the other. It doesn't take something that should be a horror moment and make it silly. It lets the horror actually like play. There are genuinely scary moments in the movie.
And for a long time, I didn't like Gremlins 2 because it was just a comedy. It's like, nothing. Where's the horror aspect? Oh, you missed it. Oh, it's too silly. And then I am older now. I'm at a different spot in my life, and now I can appreciate just how fun everything in Gremlins 2 is.
Just the fact that Gremlins 2 exists, that Joe Dante got away with it. The studio, I think there was 5 years between the first movie and the second movie, because the Warner Brothers went off and they were like trying to come up with ideas for a Gremlins 2, and they couldn't crack it. They couldn't figure out what would make it work. So they went back to Joe Dante and said, you got to be one of the reasons this thing works. Do whatever you want. Make a Gremlins 2. You're clearly what makes it work. And so what he did was make a movie that completely mocks everything about the first movie.
And that's the only thing you really could do, because I'm old enough now, I'm smart enough to realize, yeah, if they just redid the first Gremlins, it would have been lame and pointless. And the thing that justifies Gremlins 2 existence is the fact that it's a parody of the first movie.
Yeah, you could do, I haven't watched our review in forever, so I don't know if Mike and I talked about any of this, but you could do a version of Gremlins 2 that is the same basic story, but without the satirical, self-referential elements. And that would be a pretty standard sequel from that era.
Yeah.
It's like the first movie, but bigger, but adding in all those details, adding in the Looney Tunes kind of fourth wall breaking, adding in the references to the first movie, all that stuff.
The googly-eyed Gremlins, the electric Gremlins.
Yeah, all the different Gremlins, getting creative with that aspect of it.
You talking about a gremlin with glasses who could talk and sing New York, New York? That's brilliant. It's in the movie done. You talking about a gremlin whose sole purpose in this film is just that he looks stupid as fuck? Yes. It can be in the movie, and it is in the movie. Done. Next.
Then, of course, halfway through having the film break, which is a very kind of like William Castle-esque gag. Lawrence Woolsey, he'd be proud.
You probably talked about this too. It was different for the home video release.
I don't know if we did, but yeah, I know there was on the VHS, he flipped through channels on the TV.
I don't know if you could find that version anymore.
It's on the DVD and the Blu-ray.
It's on the DVD and the Blu-ray, okay.
Yeah, he talks to John. It's not as good. Because it's like, they talk to John Wayne, but it's just a guy doing a John Wayne impression.
Go on back to your own movie.
Another dead guy. We got Hulk Hogan in this movie. He shows up and yells at the Gremlins to put the movie back on.
When they go out to a theater, they want cold sodas, hot popcorn, and no monsters in the projection booth.
But you couldn't do a movie like Gremlins 2 if it wasn't for the first one. That's kind of your foundation.
Yes.
You have to do it, like, because we've talked about that. Gremlins 2 is like, I don't know how many times, whenever, like on Half in the Bag or something, if we talk about a movie that feels like it's intentionally trying to alienate the audience or be like a troll, we always compare it to Gremlins 2 because it's like the best one to ever do it. It's like a big joke on the studio's dime, and it's wonderful.
The Gremlins are still silly in Gremlins 1, but like people, the threat is serious for them.
Yeah.
You don't have Hulk Hogan show up in Gremlins 1.
Right.
You have the old man get his arm ripped off in the mailbox.
Yeah, people actually die. Even Mrs. Deagle, as funny as that scene is, they kill an old lady.
That bitch had it coming. Which I think we should talk about It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, sure.
Because she's Mr. Potter.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the fact that the whole movie shot on the back lot, it looks like It's a Wonderful Life.
It's like that scene early on, like Billy's running through like the snow. That's like the same shot in fucking It's a Wonderful Life, where Jimmy Stewart's running through the snow.
And the mom is watching that shot later in the movie.
Who, by the way, probably the third biggest badass mom of the 80s. Right behind Sarah Connor and Ellen Ripley.
Get out of my kitchen!
I discovered something recently that I never realized, and that we didn't put this in our Back to the Future review because I didn't realize it till I was editing. The mom in Gremlins is also the mom of Lorraine in Back to the Future, but she's also the mom of Neve Campbell in the first Scream movie.
Oh!
Which I didn't know.
I didn't know that.
That's like, I don't know, 10, 15 years later. So
I've
she
seen
looks...
Scream like once.
Oh, okay. I like the first Scream a lot, but I never put that together until I was editing our Back to the Future video.
That kitchen scene. I want to say something about that. There's one shot in this. It is my favorite special effects shot of all time, and it's not anything fancy. It's just the gremlin. He's eating the cookie, and it just hears something.
The ears perk up.
Ears perked up, and he turns around, and it is 100% convincing to me. You cannot tell me that's a puppet. Yeah. That's a real gremlin, Jay.
Oh, yeah.
And he turns around and he looks at that mom.
That is worth pointing out, the creature effects in the first movie versus the second movie. We obviously have our lovely props from the second movie, and they're designed to be a little funnier looking. They're a little more cartoony. In the first movie, the Gremlins and Gizmo are both so convincingly real designs. I think we talked about that in our commentary for Gremlins, where Gizmo himself, he's kind of ugly.
Yes.
He's like ugly in like the way that like an ugly dog is still kind of cute, but it's convincing as like a real little creature.
And then you get to the second one and they redesign him.
They made him cuter.
He looks super ridiculously cute.
Yeah.
Because that movie is a cartoon movie.
Yes. Yeah, it works for that movie.
Yes.
If Gizmo looked in part 1 the way he does in part 2, it would throw off the believability
Vice
of
versa.
everything. Or vice versa, yeah.
I'm imagining if they made this movie like a decade, if they made that in like the CGI era, if Gremlins came out in 98, everything would have been over animated. It would have looked terrible. That subtle ear thing, it would have been, he jumps up and turns around. It would have,
Yeah, and that's all the results of the limitations of the time.
Yeah.
They did all the effects of that movie the only way they could, and they were flying by the seat of their pants. They were figuring out this stuff as they went along. There's little moments where you can see like poles coming out of their arms, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What if one of them eats something at 11 o'clock, but then he gets something stuck in his teeth?
The rules, the Gremlins rules, they don't make any sense, which they, of course, make fun of in the second movie. But we know that they can't get wet or they multiply. So when Stripe jumps in that YMCA swimming pool and you see all that smoke and the bubbling water, it's like genuinely scary.
You know what's brilliant about the rules? And I fucking love this. They tell you the rules, but they don't tell you why the rules exist. And so so you're watching the movie for the first time, and you're wondering,
what'll this do?
What'll this do? Why can't you get them wet? That's what? Oh, they multiply.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the first time Gizmo gets wet, it's scary. He looks like he's in pain. Yeah, he like they're scared. Corey Feldman and Zach Galligan are scared. Gizmo looks terrified, and he looks like he's in pain. And you're like, is he dying?
Yeah.
Like if you didn't know Gremlins and you're watching this movie, yeah.
And then you're primed because okay, what the fuck is eating after midnight gonna do?
Another Joe Dante in joke: the fridge when he feeds them the chicken, but on the fridge there's a little smiley face sticker, which is a reference to The Howling.
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
Smiley face. Yeah.
I know. I wasn't sure if that was a reference or just like smiley things were a thing for a while. Smiley faces.
That's true. Yeah, but no, Joe Dante. So I think The Howling was the movie that got him this job, which would make sense.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he can do horror.
Yeah.
And of course, famously, the original script for this movie was straight horror. As Chris Columbus wrote it.
The mother dies in that.
The mom gets her head chopped off. Billy comes home and it apparently rolls down the stairs.
And Gizmo is Stripe.
Yeah, that was a Spielberg suggestion, which is probably...
Spielberg is wise.
Yes, he understands these things.
He understands what you should do, what the audience wants to see, and he'll pander.
Yeah.
And it's the right decision.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the audience is going to like the furry thing. There's going to be a good one. Now, the audience is going to like the mom. Don't kill the mom.
Well, and just don't make it so dark.
Yeah.
I think having that lighter tone. And it's interesting because, now you think of Joe Dante as making kind of like playful horror comedies, or just his tone in general is a little more playful. But the movies he was coming off of were
slightly childish I mean that in the best way.
And yeah. But the first movies that he did were like, Piranha, which has some humor, but it's kind of straight. They kill a bunch of kids in it.
Yeah.
And then The Howling, which is a pretty straightforward horror movie. So it's not till Gremlins that he kind of formed that kind of tone, that more playful tone. He did a damn good job. Made one of the most iconic movies of the 80s with the first Gremlins. I'd say it's probably like one of the most formative movies of my life. Like I feel pretty confident in saying I would not be who I am today if it wasn't for Gremlins. It introduced me to so many things that I love now, or so many things that, or even like the idea of like older movies. Like I mentioned, I didn't know what Invasion of the Body Snatchers was when I saw this. But Joe Dante puts in these little Easter eggs and these little mentions of old movies, and it kind of gets you interested in these movies.
Something else I want to give Gremlins credit for. We talked about Jerry Goldsmith's scores being perfect earlier. Gremlins is one of my favorite movie scores of all time. There's two movie scores which, like, they might not be the best scores ever made up to John Williams' best work, but they fit their movies perfectly. One of them is Ghostbusters. I'm not talking about the theme song. I'm talking about Elmer Bernstein's music.
Oh, yeah.
Fits that movie perfectly.
Yes.
Gremlins music? The music is fucking perfect. The Gremlins theme. Once that kicks in, it's just the perfect. It's like circus or carnival music, but just sinister enough.
Yeah.
but not so sinister. It's not also fun.
Right. That's
And then he's got the there's got the emotional beats in there too.
Yeah, I do like that too. Gizmo's he's whistling it. And
Yeah.
It's also his theme. And that piece of music is nice, especially as a contrast to the Gremlins theme. Again, it's like when you hear the title Gremlins and you see the creatures, it's like, yeah, they couldn't look like anything else.
Mhm.
You hear that music and you're like, yeah, that's the music for a Gremlins movie.
Wild, mischievous, dangerous, but mischievous things.
Yes, yeah. And that's, basically the second movie is like, the entire movie is that.
Which is why I got to the point where I have to say the second movie is probably better.
Yeah?
Because the second movie is all the bar scene.
Yeah.
Gremlins 1.
Yeah.
For the whole runtime.
They're throwing metal utensils into the microwaves. You can't do that.
Well, it's, when you think of Gremlins, there's that spirit of like anarchy, that kind of like playful, mischievous anarchy. And that's the Gremlins by their very nature. That's what they are. They thrive on that.
Mhm.
And then the second movie, the entire movie has the tone of that too. Not just the creatures are mischievous.
Yeah.
The movie itself is mischievous.
Yes.
It's played with your expectations. It's tearing the film at one point. It's breaking the fourth wall.
It evolved.
And has amazing creature effects. On top of everything else, those creatures, the puppeteering and the animatronic work in the second movie, their articulation and all the different designs, and then all the little details, all the side characters, the Grandpa Fred horror movie host that wants to be a real news anchor.
It's so absurd.
It's absurd, but it is carried out properly. It's the movie is like structured the way a movie should be structured. In a way where it doesn't just fall off. Like the movie has that like anarchy spirit, but it's still gonna follow through on the story beats. It's not gonna like fall apart into nonsense.
Are you having a run on the banks there yet? Well, it's rather brutal here. We're advising our clients to put everything they've got into canned food and shotguns.
Do you have anything else on?
I don't have anything else. This is a fun time. Unlike the John Carpenter review, I feel like I understand Joe Dante a lot more than I understand John Carpenter after that review.
Okay.
His childhood, the things he loved in his childhood. Yeah.
The fact that he was able to basically continue his childhood into adulthood by making films. Underrated director, I would say.
Yeah, underrated director.
He had Gremlins. Gremlins overshadowed it.
Yeah.
Gremlins was like the idea of Gremlins as a movie or a franchise didn't get associated with him as the director so much as like, I don't know, Jaws.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, Back to the Future. You think of Robert Zemeckis, Jaws. You think of Spielberg, of course. Gremlins was just kind of its own thing.
You associated Gremlins with Spielberg more than Joe Dante, because it was Steven Spielberg presents
That's true.
Gremlins.
Yeah. I guess it's also, well, I was gonna say it's because no one knew who Joe Dante was at the time, but
Marketing-wise, it makes sense.
yeah. But Spielberg continued to hire Joe Dante for stuff over the years, Innerspace and
He did not
Small
continue to
Soldiers.
hire John Landis, however.
No, there was a full stop end to that relationship.
Goodbye.